Two, one, test. Okay, good, good, good. Ooh-wee. It does. Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? And let me also say good afternoon to all of our brothers and sisters who are watching us virtually. We thank you for chiming in this moment as we complete our time together on overcoming bitterness. Um, Mr. AV man. What you may want to do is block off the middle aisle, because as you all are walking down the middle aisle, the people can see you, and so we want to make sure we block. Maybe let's block off that back so they can't come down and people have to go around. You do it that way, all right? Okay, just want to make sure. Yeah, I saw heads walking when I'm. So we're trying to do this, in a professional way, and I don't want people looking at the back of your head and talking about you later. I'm trying to protect you, But good to see you. It's good to be here. Look at somebody, say it's good to be alive. Look at somebody, say it's good to be well. Now I need you to do something for me. You got to do this for me. You got to look at the person close to you and tell them, I'm not bitter. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Stop it. Stop it. Yes, you are. Stop. Stop it. Let's try it again. I am not. Don't look at that person. Look at the other person. Look at them. Say, I'm not bitter. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Oh, look, hey, here's a good one. Let's try this one. Look at somebody, say, I'm going to do my best not to be bitter. I'm going to do my best not to be bitter. I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to give it a try. I really am. I'm going to give it, I'm going to do my best, because sometimes, things just kind of creep up on us, and the next thing you know, we look up and bam, there it is. Yeah, and so we want to be, we got to be, yeah. So here we are. We're finishing this today. I'm done. This is it right now. So this is what I need you to do, because there will be some information that goes on the screen, but you got to write down some information as well. Yeah, I need you to do that. You got your pens ready, or your cell phones? You're going to take some information down, because I guarantee we're going to talk about it, and if you're like me, you walk out of the door and half of it you're not going to remember unless you write it down. And it's important that we, not every detail, but some things, some of the highlights, you may want to write down. For example, you may want to write down Hebrews chapter 12, verses 14 and 15. You may want to write that down. You may want to write down 15b is the background text. And that one says, again, watch out that no poisonous root of bitterness grows up to trouble you, corrupt many, or in parentheses, I have other people. So you may want to write that down. You may want to write down, let's see, where do I want to go? You may want to write down, no matter how long you nurse a grudge, it ain't going to get better. It ain't gonna get. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that as we go back down, I think, to those final 6 points that I want to finish. Also, being bitter, we said, is to harbor deep-seated resentment, anger, and contempt from past disappointments injustices, or perceived untreatment. I think that was one of the ones that we put on the screen. You probably took a picture of that. We said it is a long-lasting, often toxic emotional state characterized by an inability to forgive. The inability to forgive, but watch this, a victim mentality. You remember we talked about that, where people always point the finger at what somebody else did, but they never look at themselves? Do y'all know any people like that? It's always your fault, but they never take any ownership or responsibility for what they did. Because I learned a long time ago, anybody ever tangle? It takes how many? It takes it takes two to tangle, right? And so we used to always say there's always three sides to the story, right? It's what one person says, what the other person says, and then the truth is somewhere in the middle. Are we together on that? All right, So victim mentality, and here a negative pessimistic outlook on life. A negative pessimistic outlook on life. When a person, and I want to, if I don't know, I want to put this on the screen if we can. Do you see this one, Mr. Screen Man? When a person becomes bitter, the most obvious effect. Do you see that, Mr. Screen Man? It should be there somewhere. I think it might be like the third or fourth one or something like that. Is that it? When a person there it is. When a person becomes, I just wanted to put it back on the screen so you can see it. When a person becomes bitter, the most obvious effect is on their what? On their what? On their mood. Moody. You ever been around moody people? Moody. Oftentimes moodiness comes from bitterness. Specifically, the bitter person emotional baseline or baseline mood is often what? Or what? Irritation. So bitter people are angry people. They're oftentimes disappointed, or they're irritable. All right. So I just wanted to give you just a taste of that. I'm gonna go down because I told you I'm finishing this today. I got to finish it today. I am not finishing this next week. I'm done today. So we talked about 6 things that bitterness will do to your life. 6 things. Now get your cameras ready if you want to take a picture, because I'm going to give you the, for example, number 1, bitterness will devastate your what? Your life spiritually. Now, I have some information that I want to give you as it relates to that, but that's the point right there. That's the point. Bitterness will devastate your spiritual life. That's the point. That's the point. So we said bitterness will devastate your spiritual life, devastate you spiritually, which means that harboring deep-seated resentment, anger, and unforgiveness acts as a spiritual poison or disease, and you're going to hear me say this again, that destroys your inner connection with God. Bitterness destroys your inner, I'll say it, I gave you a whole lot of words. Let me just make it simple. Bitterness will destroy your connection with God. It will destroy your connection with God. I don't care how many times you come to church on Sunday, how many times you preach in the pulpit, how many times you sing in the choir, how many times you usher on the door, how many times you greet people in the back, how many times you drive the golfing cart in the parking lot, pick people up, and bring them to the front door. Bitterness will cause a disconnect between you and God. It is depicted as a poisonous underground, and I'm going to say something about that again when I deal with the last, I think, 2 or 3 that I want to deal with. A poisonous underground infection. Infection that, if left unaddressed, grows beneath the surface of the heart and eventually produces devastating fruit in a person's life and relationship. Ooh, I'm going to say that one more time because y'all missed it. You missed it. Can I say it again? Come on, tell me. Say it again, Pastor. Say it again. Thank you. I'm so glad you said that. I feel so good now. It is depicted as a poisonous underground infection. An infection. Anybody ever have an infection? I mean, a real infection. Yeah. And if you let that thing go, what happens to it? It spreads. It gets worse. And some infections can get so bad that you have to, that's it, cut it completely out or off. Right. Ooh, that was an interesting one too. I didn't say this. Sister North said it. She said infections have odors. That's a good one. That's a good one. Let me write that down. Let me put that in my next presentation. type it. No, but that is true. That is true. An infection left long enough because after a while, I mean, the odor comes from infection. Infection may cause you to have to cut it completely off and get rid of it, because if not, it's going to infect other parts of one's body. So, the underground infection that, if left unaddressed, it grows beneath the surface of the heart and eventually produces devastating fruit in a person's life and their relationship. Okay, let me keep on going. Number 2, just a review. We said bitterness will destroy you what? Physically. Go and take a picture of that if you want to. He's going to leave it up there for a minute for you. Take a shot. Just go and take a shot. You can write it down if you want to. Bitterness will destroy you what? Physically. Physically. Bitterness is like a poison is left in the life of a believer. It runs through your life at work, in your house, and guess where else? Even in the church. In your subconscious mind, it's there while you are what? Sleeping. Medical doctors say that bitterness will even make you sick and depressed. Can I ask you a question? Anybody ever been sick and you didn't know you were sick? I mean, really, you ever been sick? Sometimes people are sick and they don't even know they're sick. Some people are depressed and they have no idea that they're depressed. They don't know. Anybody ever, you don't have to raise your hand. Anybody ever been depressed and you didn't know you were depressed? Yeah, it makes you sick and depressed. Bitterness has been linked to, and we said this when we were together last time, high blood pressure. Remember we talked about that? High blood pressure. No, not because your mama had it and your daddy had it and your grandparents had it and everybody in the family had it. No, it's from being bitter. And typically bitterness can be passed down from generation to generation. Generational curse. If you live in a house with a whole bunch of bitter people, guess what's going to happen to you? You going to, ooh, I thought y'all didn't know that. Dang, let me type this down. They knew that one. Okay, don't say they knew that one. Okay, all right, yeah, it is. And we remember last week we talked about when you go to the doctor's office and you got that long thing and they start asking you who in your family had what. They had, okay, heart trouble. Asked you, mama had this and daddy had that and folk have all that. And I told you last week some stuff I just don't know. I called my mother on the phone and said, did you have a? She said, no, I didn't have it, but your grandmama had a. I'm like, oh, man, so you got to write it all down. Yeah, sometimes it's, and here's another thing that happens. Just, anybody like cheese? You like cheese? Y'all like cheese? Y'all buy that government block of cheese and you eat that government cheese? I just ask. I don't know. I'm just asking a question. Eat that cheese. I'm just saying. So what is cheese good for you? I don't know. Is it what is cheese? Can you eat a lot of cheese? Okay, I heard yeah, and then I see a whole lot of people shaking their head. Nah, you don't eat. Why not? Why not? Why not? Why can't you eat cheese? Huh? Your digestive system? What else? What else? It can raise your blood pressure? Okay. What else? Somebody said back you up. I didn't say that. That came from that section. It's good as long as you don't eat too much. Well, I don't know about that. I like it. I eat a lot of it. Man, y'all kind of looked at me like, you do? You know why? I do. I eat a lot of cheese. I just love cheese. I love it. I just love it. I do. Man, I love cheese. I love cheese so much. I just love to sit with it. I sit with it and I talk to it. Hey, cheese, how you doing today? I'm about to take a bite right out of you. Yeah, the only reason why okay, anybody like hot sauce? I'm going somewhere. I'm really going somewhere with this hot sauce. What kind you eat? Texas Pete? Texas Pete? Okay. Tabasco sauce? Any Tabasco sauce in here? Okay, Texas. I get more Texas Pete. Anybody eat a lot of hot sauce? A lot of hot sauce? I got cheese sitting next to me on one side and hot sauce on the other side. I just love hot sauce. I do. I love. Sometimes people ask me, do you want some chicken to go with that hot sauce? Because I got more hot sauce on it than chicken. I love hot sauce. Now, what can too much hot sauce do to you? Oh, my goodness. All those types of things. You all talk about cheese and hot sauce and stuff, what it can do to your body. Can I tell you something? And I need you to believe me when I tell you this. You know where I got that eating eating hot sauce and a lot of cheese from? My daddy. My father. And you know where he got it from? His father. Because I remember my grandfather doing it. Remember I told you some things are passed down? And it's not that he may have had heart conditions or problems. It's because of what he was eating that passed down. And I'm eating the same. My father ate the same stuff. And now I'm eating the same stuff. Ooh, and guess what? Who said that? That's true. I didn't even realize it. Last time my son was here visiting and he was at the table and he had that plate sitting there. I said, boy, all that hot sauce you got on that food? And my wife is standing looking at me like this. Like he got it from you. Understand what I'm saying? So we're talking about food, but it's the same with character and personality. The behaviors are passed down. They really are. I mean, you don't necessarily have to. I didn't have to do it. And I did not like hot sauce at all. I just did it because my father was doing it. And then after doing it for so long, I started to like it. It made no sense. It was burning up my mouth growing up as a little boy, just burning my mouth up. But I did it because my father would put hot sauce. He did it. I did it. So those are the things I'm talking about. Bitterness can be passed down. That's the only point I'm trying to make. It can be passed down. If you got a bitter mama or a bitter daddy, they can push that poisonous of bitterness on you. They really can. A poison auntie, uncle, grandmama, granddaddy, somebody. You can have bitter friends. And if you hang around them long enough, you're going to be bitter and you're not even going to realize you're bitter. People going to start looking at you saying, why you act that way? Anybody in here named Sharon? Anybody in here named Sharon? Any Sharon's name in here? I better not use that as an example. Rose, any Rose in here? Who's who? Any Rose? Man, I ain't using no names. Oh man, I can't. What's your wife's first name? I don't know her first name. What's her first name? You sure? Sister. Look at somebody say, I'm not bitter, I'm not bitter, I'm not bitter. Let's keep on going. So we understand that. Number 3, bitterness will discourage you what? Emotionally. It'll mess you up emotionally. It will. It will mess you up emotionally. It will. Where there is bitterness, there is always discouragement. Where there's bitterness, there's always discouragement. Bitterness will lead you, remember we said, to be paranoid. Somebody, who wrote that down? Somebody said, thank you. Be paranoid. That's what I mean. Write some of that stuff down. That's some good stuff. Make you paranoid. How many people you know paranoid? Remember we said last week, folks think you talking about them. You're not even thinking about them. But they think you talking about them. Paranoid. That's it. Think you out there, out. And paranoid people embellish. They embellish. You know what that means? They add to it. I mean, you may have said, hey, how you doing today? Those are some nice shoes. Next thing you know, they said they were talking about my shoes. Talking about how cheap my shoes were and where I got my shoes from. And I mean, they embellish. They just start going, and then you'll look around like, I ain't even say that. Look at somebody say paranoid. Paranoid. You know, remember we said last week, you can walk into church and somebody look at you. And they're way on the other side, and they're talking to some other people, and they're talking about, the party they went to last night. They're talking about the club they went to. And you think they're talking about you. All they did is looked over and waved. And now they say, oh, they talking about me. Yeah, they talking about, see, I knew I shouldn't have wore this outfit to church today. I know they're talking about me. Oh, look at somebody say, that's paranoid. I need you to know that is true, what I'm saying. It's true. Look at somebody say, in the house of God. In the church. But I'm telling you, that's what bitterness will do to people. It really is. Do you know that there's some people now, that are bitter because they could not marry the one that they wanted to marry. So they ended up with somebody else, and they treat that person bad because they didn't get the one they wanted. Y'all missed it. I'm telling you, real talk. I mean, you've never heard anything like that. Have you ever heard that before? You're quiet. Some people, they just had to have a warm body next to me. But I really wanted that person over there, and they didn't get them. So guess what happens? Now they're bitter, because now you got to look at him or her every day, and you know you didn't want them. Y'all miss what I said. I'm just look at somebody say, he's preaching facts. That's facts. I'm telling the truth. Okay, listen, you all may not believe it, but I've been in a whole lot of counseling sessions with people that have said that. So I just want you to know, don't look around the room. I ain't talking about nobody in here. I'm just saying people have. People have come and they'll say, what do I do? I said, leave them. No, I didn't say that. Yes, go ahead.
One of my aunts said when they were growing up, how they had 12 and 13 and 16 kids in the house. So they just married the most convenient person that come by that would take them out of where it was so many kids in the house.
Or some people will get married just to get away from their parents. Ooh, I heard some grumbling with that one. Like, that's for real. Like mom or dad are so strict. I can't wait to get out the house. And then somebody comes by, and then there you go. And here you are 35 years later saying, you know what? I've been bitter all my life. Remember we said that there's some people that may not even know that they're bitter. Extremely unhappy with the person that they're with. And oftentimes what that does is causes people to go out and have relationships outside of their marriage. Because I cannot stand the one I'm with, but I just got there to get to where I'm trying to go. Creates bitterness. Sometimes we think people are just mean and nasty. Remember I said people just mean, nasty, and they're ugly, and they behave the way. Man, people are bitter sometimes because of what they're dealing with. And nobody is having any real conversation with them about how to help them get over that, how to deal with that. And so we just think, man, they crazy. No, I'm serious. People say, we equate it, you crazy or you got the devil in you. Oh, they got demons. They got devils all inside. No, they're miserable. And miserable, and when you're miserable, you get bitter. You start seeing folk, so you start watching TV and see all these couples on TV, they just loving each other. They got rose petals going down the floor, and you're like, man, I just want to get out the house. For real. That causes people to be bitter. All right, let's keep on going. He said, Pastor, please move on. Here we go. Yeah, a little bite of bitterness will become, I said, your prison bars, if it is permitted to grow in your life. Allow God to what? Freely work God's grace in your life. You allow God's grace to work in your life. Allow God to move in your life. Now, we'll talk about some overcoming, how to overcome some of this. But let me keep on going. This is one right here. Number 4, bitterness will divide the church. Y'all missed it. I'm going to talk about that. Can I talk about that for a minute? Bitterness will divide a church or a ministry. Did y'all get that? I really don't think you heard what I said. I said bitterness will what? Divide a church or a ministry, if you're not careful. Can we talk about it? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Because this is where we left off, right? This is where we left off. It refers to the destructive, contagious, or unresolved resentment, unforgiveness, and anger within a congregation, which inevitably causes 3 things. Let me give you 3 things. Number 1, relational rifts. Relational rifts. Relational rifts simply are open breaks or deep, painful disconnection in a relationship where interaction shifts from positive to negative due to unmet needs, conflict, or trust violations. Ooh, I just said a whole lot. I'm going to say it again. Say it again. Relational rifts. They're open breaks, a break, or deep, painful disconnect in a relationship. It's a deep break or deep, painful disconnect in a relationship where interaction shifts. The interaction in the relationship shifts from positive to negative. The relationship was positive at one point, but then the relationship turned negative. And why did it turn negative? Because needs were unmet, there was conflict or trust violations. Now you got a mess. Number 2, splits. Splits, number 2. We got relational rifts. Number 2, splits. What is a split? What are we talking about when we're talking about split in this regard? A split is a division where members separate from the church or each other because, here it comes, of unresolved hurt, pride, or offense. Watch this. Rather than divine direction. I don't want no divine direction. I just want to be mad. Don't tell me nothing about God. I just want to be mad because I want it my way and I want it the way I want it. If I don't get my way, guess what? I'm done. Did y'all hear what I said? So splits. Splits is a division where members separate from the congregation, from the church, or each other. Because remember, we're talking about church and in ministry. So you can separate yourself from the church, or you can separate yourself from the ministry. I'm going to finish it from the ministry. Separate yourself from the church is this. I'm mad because I don't like something. Now I'm going over to Wheeler Avenue Baptist Church. Y'all missed what I said. I'm mad because I don't like what you said or what you did or what you didn't do. So now I'm going over to a Reverend Helly Belly's church down the street. like you ain't taking yourself with you. Y'all miss what I just said. Or I don't like, man, I can't, let me think of a ministry. Let me think of one that's not in the church. The Willing Workers. The Willing Workers. The Willing Workers got together. The whole ministry voted. We're going to take up dues. Take up dues. How much are the dues? The dues are going to be 25. That's too much. But everybody agreed we're going to do 25. And somebody got mad and said, I ain't going to be in the ministry no more. Because y'all take up dues and the dues are too high. You understand what I'm saying? Division, splits that cause people to either leave the church or to leave a ministry. Now you didn't leave the church. You stayed in the church. You just left the ministry. And then the other thing that happens, you go around talking negative about the ministry. Oh, y'all wish I had a witness in here. Look at somebody say, preach, pastor. I'm doing my best. So splits, a division where members separate from the congregation, because you wanted me to give it to you again, or each other because of unresolved hurt, pride, or offense rather than divine direction. In other words, somebody trying to talk to you. Have a sensible God conversation with you. And you ain't trying to hear nothing. Well, I mean, maybe, a 25 might be a little high, but, that shouldn't make you want to leave the ministry because it's not about the money. It's about the ministry. And they say, I don't want to hear what you got to say. Now I'm going to go over to the usher board now. Right. Now you're going to bring that same hell from the Willing Workers to the ushers. Y'all missed y'all missed it. Y'all have never seen that before. Have you ever seen that before? Let me see which side is the quiet side and the side is saying amen. No, really, it happens. I'm mad because you won't let me sing the solo in the choir. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? Look at somebody say, can't sing a lick. Tell them. But want to sing the solo. I mean, I'm being jokey with it, but there's some people like that. Said, I can't sing. Or here's one. This one blew me away as a pastor. I've been pastoring for a long time. This one blew me away. That is my song. How dare somebody else sing my song? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? And try to sit down and have some rational conversation. Say, come on, let's talk about it. It's not your song. You understand what I'm saying? It's not yours. Anybody should be able to sing it by God's grace, right? Because we're one family. That's like me walking over to Reverend Olin saying, don't you ever preach on Moses parting the Red Sea. That's my scripture. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? People are just funny like that. Reverend Dawson, don't you pray, because I'm the only one that can pray. That prayer right there. I mean, I'm just saying that's what happens. Nobody wants to listen to divine instruction. Sit down, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit more, I think, on the latter end of the back end of what we're talking about today. That's real talk. You want to know why most churches have struggles and issues? Because people don't want to have divine instruction. Conversation. Let's talk about it. Because that's what we're supposed to do. Can you imagine what my relationship would be like with my wife if every time we had something going on, I said, I'm out of here? I mean, you understand what I'm saying? No, we got to work it out. That's what we're supposed to do. I mean, some things you got to say, hasta la bye-bye, and I get it. But other things, I'm not going to get mad because the chicken wasn't cooked right. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? Well, your chicken ain't cooked right. So because it wasn't cooked right, I'm leaving. I mean, people leave for some crazy reasons. Instead of sitting down, and I noticed this in surveys. Surveys suggest that most women want to have counseling sessions and conversations about relationships, and most men think they don't need it. I'm telling you what I know. We don't need that. We don't need to talk to anybody. If you just do what I ask you to do, we're going to be all right. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? No, but divine instruction. Let's sit. The Bible says, come let us. I feel like running. Now, I better not run because some of y'all chase me on Sunday. Let me get back over here. All right, we got that. Once again, splits, a division where members separate from the congregation or each other. Each other means the ministry because of unresolved hurt, pride, or offense rather than divine instructions. And final, or number three, because there were three things. The first one is relational rifts. Second is splits, right? All of this is coming from Hebrews. I just want you to know. It's coming from Hebrews. And then we have, number three, a loss of spiritual focus. A loss of spiritual focus. My focus spiritually is totally and completely off. And spiritual focus being off just simply means the drifting of your heart, your mind, and your priorities away from God and purpose and spiritual values toward earthly distractions, leading to a state of apathy and a spiritual slump. I'm going to say that again. Somebody said, say it again, Pastor. I'm writing it down. I'm going to tell you it again. A loss of spiritual focus. Here's a loss of spiritual focus. Again, it's the drifting of your heart. Your heart is drifted. Your mind is drifted. Priorities have drifted. Where? Away from God. Because there's no way that your priorities are with God when you say, I'm mad and I'm done. And I don't even want to talk about it. And even if I talk about it, there ain't no resolve. There should always be resolution in the body of Christ. Always be resolution. Look at somebody, say always. I'm going to finish it. Always resolution in the body of Christ. Always. Always. I wish I had a witness in here say, preach, Pastor, tell me. That was two. Okay, let's keep going. Because you got your pens out. You're waiting for it. Toward, right? Toward earthly distractions, leading to a state of apathy or spiritual slump. Spiritually, you will always be in trouble if you don't know how to sit at the table of reason. You're going to always be in trouble. Always be in trouble. Life's always going to be in chaos. Always bitterness. And remember, we said some people don't even realize that they're bitter. Don't realize they're unhappy. They're unhappy, but they just don't realize it. And they just live a life in bitterness, or they're just unhappy. They are. And they don't know it, but you know it. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because you look at them and you say, oh, my goodness. Why do you behave like that? And I know you know it because even some people that may attempt to come to church with that on them, you can smell it or sense it or feel it. And the first thing you do is you run away from them. You don't run toward them. You go find a seat somewhere else because you don't want to sit next to them, because this is what they're going to do when they sit next to you. Girl, let me tell you. Man, let me tell you. Then they're going to start running a litany of things they mad about, that they're unhappy about. They really will. They'll say, look at what she's wearing. Why are we talking about her? You know what I'm saying? Look. Why don't they have a Bible? Why are they looking at their phone on a Bible? Everybody should have a hardback Bible. What are we talking about? I'm just saying, with some people, they just start saying, man, why are they wearing their hair like that? Well, that's the way they want to wear their hair. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Why the seats in here purple? And I'm just saying, I'm telling you, when people get separate, we chuckle at that, but when you are separated from God, it causes craziness to start coming out of our mouths. I mean, it really will. Why come? Not how come, why come? Yeah. All right, let's keep on going. All right. Bitterness, we said, divides the church. Now we're going back to Hebrews chapter 12 and verse number 15. It's acting as a root. We said that when unaddressed grows into a sinful disease, poisoning relationships and contaminating the entire community. So all I was saying is that some of the personalities that we talk about, if people are not careful, they get bitter, and the behaviors, if we're not careful, those behaviors will spread through the church. And then after a while, other people start acting like that, or in the ministry. And then you always kind of wonder in a certain ministry, why do they behave like that? It's not one person that smiles on that ministry. And you're asking yourself that question. Well, because it started with one. And the one even if there's 15 people in the ministry, isn't it interesting how the one contaminated all 15? And the 15 should have been strong enough to change the one. But they didn't. You know why? Because sometimes folk don't want to deal with it. Yeah, I'm just going to let them be with it. That's just how they are. Don't say nothing to them. You know, that's how, don't say nothing. Just act like you don't know. Just turn away. Have you ever noticed that? People will do that. That's just how they are. People will say, that's just how I am. And then after all, we say, okay, that's just how they are. So we don't say nothing because that's just how they are. Well, you know, girl, you know that's how they act. Just ignore them. If you ignore them, they're going to go in the opposite direction. No, you don't ignore them. You call them out. Y'all got real quiet on me. You call them out. You say something. So we need to have some conversation. We need to have conversation. Divine instruction. Because if not, then maybe the ministry here is not good for you. Does that make sense? Because, again, if you're not careful, you all have been you've been going to church for a long time. I've been pastoring for quite some time. I've seen it. I've seen the very thing I'm telling you. I've heard people say when people are cantankerous and mad and mean-spirited, I've heard people say, Pastor, don't worry about them. That's just how they are. It's going to be all right. When they calm down, it's going to be all right. And I'm like, no. Y'all scared of that person. Don't be scared. Look at somebody say something. For goodness sake, say something. Because if not, then we are no different than those people who allow one person to do what they want to do in Washington, D.C. Y'all miss what I just said. Scared to death. Don't want to say nothing. Scared. Scared because you're going to get threatened. Scared because your job might be on the line. Scared of what? Don't be scared, because when a person knows, watch this, man, I didn't know the Lord was going to take me here. I call them spiritual bullies. When they become bullies, the way that you beat up a bully is you confront that bully. Because if a bully knows they got you scared, they're going to stay on you. And anybody else around you, they're going to do it. They're bullies. Y'all have never, I'm not speaking Chinese, am I? This is I just want to know, tell me the truth. Have you ever seen that before? Yes. I'm not talking about at your house or in your community. I'm talking about in the church. Now I am. He said, well, why? I remember there are 6 points. The fourth point says what? What's the fourth point say? I'm talking about church and ministry. That's what I'm talking about right now. They said, man, I would go, Pastor, move on to the next one. I said, no, sometimes we got to stay here for a while. So does that make sense? I'm just going to keep on talking until I feel like I got through to you. I'm just going to keep talking about it. And when I see you got through, that I'm getting through, and I'm like, okay, I'll move on to the next one. I mean, you understand what I'm saying? People sometimes they're like that. It's true. It's real. People are bitter, and bitterness causes that. In the house of God. Did y'all hear what? In the house of God, in ministry. How can a church grow? How can people join a church? Because really, people on the street can tell if you're real or fake when they come in the building. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes we don't know it, but they can. They can tell. They can walk in and they can tell. They can say, "Oh yeah, here it is." Or they can look at it and say, wow, man, I feel it, the energy, and the people are smiling, and everybody's happy. People just sometimes, they'll come and they'll kind of sit in the back, and they'll just watch. They'll watch how people interact with each other. You know, they'll watch the preacher and how the preacher behaves in the pulpit. Is the preacher fussing everybody out on Sunday, or is the preacher preaching the word? I mean, y'all understand what I'm saying? Are the ushers nice, or are they mean? Are the greeters greeting you when you come in the door, or are they saying, man, whatever? The people in the parking lot, are they nice, and are they smiling when you come onto the campus of the church? These are the things that people look for. And sometimes, and you probably may not know this, not some of you may know this, but people shop churches before they join churches. They shop. They do. They'll shop you. Whether they go online and look at you, or they go on TikTok or Facebook or wherever, and some will come in and shop you, and they'll just come in and look in the building and say, okay, I seen it, now I'm going to go out. And then they'll put all your stuff on Facebook. Yeah, I went to that church. Because there's some people that do that. They travel, they go to different churches, and then they start having conversations about what's going on in that church. Okay, all right. Seemed like y'all had enough of that one. All right, next. Number 5. Bitterness will defile your relationships. Defile. Look at somebody say defile. Harboring unresolved. I'm still in Hebrews. Harboring unresolved resentment, anger, or hurt acts as a spiritual and emotional poison that does 4 things real quick. Number 1, it corrupts the heart. And the heart is just the mind. Corrupts one's mind. Let me just paraphrase scripture. Wherever your heart is, wherever your head goes, your body gonna follow. Whatever a person thinketh in their heart, I think that's Bible. Look at somebody say that's Bible. Whatever person, the reactions and the behaviors of people, that's something that comes from the inside and it works its way on the outside. That's why this whole text, and I'm going to close with it, where the apostle is suggesting that if we allow that to stay in us, the apostle says if it stays in us, if it's rooted in us and the root starts to grow in us, guess what? It's going to come out of us. Can't help it. They can't help it. All right, number 2, as I said, 4 things. First one is corrupts the heart. Number 2, it damages trust. Because we're talking about defiles your relationship. How's the relationship defiled? Well, there's a corruption of heart, there's damage of trust, and then number 3, it spreads negativity. Some negative folk, right? And eventually, number 4, it ruins your connection with other people. Because remember, I'm talking about defiling relationships. So a connection is ruined. Ruined as it relates to other people. It's ruined. Our life has what I refer to as overflow. Look at somebody say overflow. I'm about to close it out. Overflow. We all have overflow. All of us. Overflow is the result of what is and has built up in our life that spills out on other people every single day. Every single day you come into contact with people, whatever's in you, it overflows. It spills on people. So the question is, what do you want to spill on people? The love of Christ that's in you, or bitterness that might be in us to spill on other people? In other words, your internal state, your thoughts, your emotions, our habits, our past experiences inevitably leaks into your interactions with other people. Our experiences. That's the one, oftentimes I give the example, always, whether it's the dating example, where somebody decides that when they start dating this person, they treat the other person or treat them like they did the other person because the other person treated them really bad. So they respond that way to the new person because they haven't gotten over the other person. So if the other person lied and cheated, they're going to treat this one like they're a liar and a cheat. Because remember when I said that if a person is with somebody that they can't trust, then they connect with somebody and they haven't cleaned themselves up of all of that bitterness and stuff they got from the past relationship. When that person goes to the grocery store, guess what? That person's going to start thinking, are they really at the grocery store? Where did they really go? And then they'll start putting trackers on vehicles. Remember I talked about phones. You can put folks' phones so that where you know where people are. That people will do that just because they don't trust where the person is gone. But that person went to the store just like they said they were going to. But because that other rascal didn't go to the store and went other places, now they got us all messed up. And so we're starting to think that. So a person has to clear themselves of that, because if not, going back to the last point I just mentioned, it ends up pouring out on other people. Let's keep on going. All right. Hebrews chapter 12, we said verse 15, we said again, it describes bitterness as a root. Roots are, and this is the part I'm gonna close with because I really wanted to get to this. Roots are the direct result of a seed. Roots are a direct result of a seed. You don't get a root without a seed. Not only a seed, but a watered seed. So you don't get a root without a seed, but the seed has to be what? Watered. And it has to be what's called a permitted seed. What is a permitted seed? A permitted seed is a seed that you authorize to use. You've authorized it. It emphasizes that nothing, and this is important here, nothing significant grows in your character or in your life without intention, without nurturing, or your consent. I'm going to say that one more time. That was powerful. Let me say that one more time. It emphasizes that nothing significant grows in your character. Nothing grows in you without intention, without nurturing, or without your consent. You have to allow it. You have to consent to it. You have to nurture it. And there has to be intention behind it to get what you end up getting. It doesn't just accidentally happen to us. Anything that stays in our life, it grows in us. Anything. That's a principle that highlights that what you choose to nurture, what you choose to focus on, or allow to remain, whether positive or negative, will multiply and expand, shaping our character, but not just our character, but it shapes our future. It shapes who we are. It shapes who we are. That point was number what? That's number 5, right? Is that number 5? What is it, number 5? Put it on the screen for us one more time, number 5. Defiles relationship. Defiles relationship.